Canadian Forces Base Chilliwack. We are one of 4 bases that make up Land Forces' western area. In effect, we are the Army base for British Columbia, and as such, we provide logistical and administrative support to lodger units from 6 different commands, which are located not just here on base, but throughout the province. In addition to the support role, we also manage about 280,000 hectares of land, either owned or leased by the Department of National Defence. While the responsibilities assigned to Canada's land forces have changed somewhat over the more than 50 years since CFB Chilliwack was established, the demand for highly trained men and women remains constant. Today, we support 2 Canadian Forces training schools. So the base plays a number of different roles, yet connected roles.
We have 3 roles, one being to provide administrative logistic support to the military element of British Columbia mainland. The second one being to support the individual training being conducted by the engineer schools and the officer candidate school. And the last one, to conduct domestic operation.
From a training perspective, the Fraser Valley of British Columbia provides an attractive environment. The moderate climate allows for year-round operations. The tough, mountainous terrain is ideal for the 2 training schools that are based here, the Canadian Forces Officer Candidate School and the Canadian Forces School of Military Engineering. The latter has developed from the engineer training camp set up here in World War II. It was 1942 when the first troop elements boarded trains in Ontario and Saskatchewan for the long ride to Chilliwack. Canada was at war, and the Army needed engineers. On April 24th, the first training contingent of 1,200 troops marched in full gear to the new camp at Better Crossing. It was little more than a tent city, and for the officers and non-commissioned members it was a tough life, and they lived in tents for another 6 months before the first permanent construction began. Gradually, the camp took on a look of here to stay, and by March of the following year, the first of the more than 6,000 troops to graduate from Chilliwack were off to war. Today, the training for engineers focuses on 2 operational areas. The first is land operations, supporting the field army. That requires a broad range of skills, from handling heavy equipment to improvising roads, building bridges, and crossing water obstacles. The second is supporting air operations, building and maintaining runways. Here in the foothills of the Fraser Valley, the conditions for training the men and women who will eventually do that work are ideal. In fact, this is one of the best training areas of its kind in North America.
We have access to it all year round, and the weather, like I say, is very good to us. The frost might go on the ground maybe 1.5 feet maximum. We can work around that with the equipment that we have here. The variety of soil conditions gives these guys a chance to work in whatever is out in the real world there.
And the community benefits because we clear and maintain the logging roads during the winter. We do that as part of our training. At Cultus Lake, we train engineers in small boat operations. We keep to one end of the lake, so we do not interfere with or disturb recreational boaters. The second training unit located here is the Canadian Forces Officer Candidate School. It was established in Chilliwack in 1969. Its role is to teach the officer candidate basic military leadership skills and knowledge, and to provide basic training to all men and women seeking a commission in the armed forces. These men and women are trained and evaluated under conditions that are mentally and physically challenging. They must be prepared to respond to all possible real-life scenarios. At CFB Chilliwack, we train some 3,300 students annually. The standards of leadership set by the armed forces are extremely high. Between 20 and 25% of all candidates fail to make the grade. Only the best are chosen. There is one operational unit stationed at CFB Chilliwack, one Combat Engineer Regiment. It has seen active duty in the Gulf War and has served as an element in more recent United Nations peacekeeping missions. During the Gulf War and prior to the Allied action against Iraq, one CER supported our F-18 fighter squadrons that were based in Qatar. They were called on to build runways and to keep them functional even while they were doing rapid repair work. Their demolition skills were put to good use in Kuwait following the Gulf War. One CER cleared minefields, exposed unexploded ordnance, and then did the detonation work. When it returned to base following duty in Kuwait, the regiment received the highest honor that a municipality can bestow upon a military unit, the freedom of the city. It certainly was one of the memorable events in our long relationship with the District of Chilliwack. Some 3 weeks later, CFB Chilliwack exercised its freedom of the city as part of the 1992 celebrations that marked the 50th anniversary of CFB Chilliwack and the bond between the base and the community. Before the year was over, one combat engineer regiment was challenged again. That fall, the regiment deployed to the former Yugoslavia to clear more minefields and to restore some of the basic facilities that we take so much for granted. Our newest larger unit is 3 PPC LI, recently transferred from CFB Esquimalt. This is a total force unit, a mix of regular force and militia personnel. In the total force concept, regular and militia troops train side by side. If and when this unit of the Princess Pats is assigned peacekeeping duties, the militia members will serve side by side with the regular force members. While it is the combat engineers and our 2 training schools that have the highest profile, 55% of our mandate is the support we provide to other units, not just those that reside on base, but to units and detachments throughout the province, in Vancouver and in northern British Columbia. If we take into account the 78 cadet and 13 reserve units with which we are actively involved, plus the various larger units, then CFB Chilliwack becomes, in terms of the military population we support, the 3rd largest military base in Canada.
CFB Chilliwack is the only Army base this side of the Rockies. So actually you could say it's one of the 3 that for the Army is vital to their operation.
In the military sense, we are a separate and distinct community. In the broader sense, our military personnel and their families are very much a part of the wider community. Our links are both social and economic. The military population of CFB Chilliwack, including families, is approximately 3,000 people. Our married quarters accommodate almost 400 families. We also have accommodation for over 1,600 single members, including students who are here on course. Another 360 personnel and their families own or rent off base. With a military staff of some 1,800, plus at least 1,000 civilian employees, our base is the 2nd largest employer in the district.
The base is a major employer in this area. The military people and civilian employees, as well as the dependents, comprise about 15% of the population. In terms of financial impact to the area, it has a significant impact.
The total payroll, military and civilian, is just over $110 million. We also have an operating budget in excess of $25 million. That creates opportunities for area contractors and local suppliers. Cascade Industrial Supply is typical of the kind of relationship that can develop between the base and the local business community.
It gives us a good base all year round. They're always buying stuff to basically deal with them all day long. They're from little nuts and bolts to chain or whatever the product is. And there's a lot of different products that they use, and they're always looking for different things, and it's hard to find some of these things for them, but we work hard to try and get the products for them. I would say it was probably my #1 customer. We enjoy the relationship. It's a good relationship, and I hope it never ends.
We are also ready at all times to assist the local authorities, and that includes police, fire, and medical. It is part of our mandate. And we contribute to the community in other ways. Our engineers built the bridge that spans the Better Canal, and they also contributed to a number of parks developments. And because we are citizens of the district, we welcome the opportunity to have our voice heard not just on areas that affect us directly, but on areas of common concern as well.
In other words, they're interested in it throughout D&D, and they want to know if there's a possibility of using a Canadian source for that service.
Our personnel sit in on a number of the district's committees, and we maintain close links with the Rotary Club and other community service organizations.
We're fortunate to have the base in our community. By past history and tradition, they get involved within the community. There's members on the local Chamber of Commerce, the community services. They get involved with our athletic associations. They volunteer their time for coaching with sports organizations, Boy Scouts. It's phenomenal the way they get involved.
One of our goals is to continue to develop more of an open base policy, providing civilians with greater access to the open areas of our base. That will enable us to share more of our facilities with the civilian population. We have already started that with our sports complexes. The Shem Center is a modern facility offering a wide range of activities. It's one area where you can't always tell the military from the civilians. Lower mainland militia units, like the Seaforth Highlanders, use our rifle ranges. So do some law enforcement agencies and a number of rifle clubs. Military personnel and their families have always been involved in life off the base, and they contribute, like José Heitu is contributing. She is a French immersion teacher, a francophone, who has come to feel at home here.
People are very friendly. They're used to having a lot of military people going around and coming in and leaving, so they're open to changes and different people coming in. They are very respectful, and they don't, like I'm francophone, and they don't try to make you feel different because of that, so it's pretty good.
The Base Family Resource Center helps all military families feel comfortable here. It provides a variety of services, from daycare to programs for mothers. The center also assists families in linking to community services and facilities which may not be available on the base. Our children are another important link to the community. They attend the district schools. Their parents become members of home and school organizations, social groups, and charitable organizations. Children from the Lower Mainland have developed their own personal relationships with us. At the Combat Engineers Complex, peacekeepers and pen pals meet face-to-face for the first time. For these peacekeepers, it is an opportunity to say thank you to the youngsters who took the time to write to soldiers who spent Christmas 1992 on United Nations duty in a faraway and war-torn country.
This guy here is my little buddy who wrote me while I was in Yugoslavia. He wanted to know all about what we were doing there and on all that interesting stuff and what kind of food we ate and all those kind of things. Hey, buddy. Oh, it meant a lot. I mean, like, we just wanted all the letters we could get our hands on over there, and we thought it was a great thing. All the guys were writing the kids, and it was just nice to hear from these guys back there.
This cairn commemorates the 50th anniversary of Canadian Forces Base Chilliwack. For us, it is an important symbol. It has another significance. It honors and celebrates the close relationship we have enjoyed with the citizens of the district of Chilliwack.